Hello everyone, give me a minute to pull this up on the laptop and we will get started. It's like it's not gonna work. Hey Roz, my computer's acting up all of a sudden. I don't know why it's not working, and I'm trying to pull that up. I have to see where I'm at before I can get started. Hey Lynn. Let me see if that's down. The battery's down. I don't think so, but I'll plug it in. Cute. The computer won't turn on, Jim. All right. All right. Well, you guys are kind of in a boring spot right now because I haven't started. I can't get started yet. So are we still home? Yeah, we're still home. We're leaving tomorrow morning. Hopefully I can. Trying to get this going here. I'd like to finish up my swaps today. And then that leaves packing. And that's what it was. It was just dead. I don't know how. I thought I had it plugged in. So, hey, Mary. We leave tomorrow morning early. Pool boy is taking us to the airport, and then he's having lunch with our number one daughter, and then heading home. And then Pam's husband Bill will pick us up on Sunday when we come back. So I still have to pack. You know me. If you've been with me before, you know I don't like to pack. So yeah, it's the last thing that's going on. But I'm getting there, so just not my thing. Okay, there it is. All right. So sorry about that, but it is what it is. So yes, if you don't know, we are heading out tomorrow for the cruise, the incentive trip with Stampin' Up. Hey, Linda Johnson, how are you, honey bun, down in Georgia? We are heading out. Pam is going with me. Pool boy and I, after we got back from our trip down to see you, Linda, I knew things were not right, and he is so much better. You guys, I am so pleased how things have turned out for him. He is heading to cardiac rehab starting tomorrow. But he is sleeping great, feeling great, looking great, just more energetic, and I'm so thankful. So anyhow, we made that decision that week when we came back. We said we have to make a decision, Jim, if you're going or not. And he is really tickled he's not going. He's not a big Disney fan anyway, so he's like, yeah, I'm much happier staying here. So Pam is going, and we will have a blast. And we will have good, and I can go with a good feeling now, knowing that I'm leaving him in a much better situation. So, hey, Ann, it's just nice to have all of you with us today. Tina, all of you. So, one of the things that we can do, and this is purely optional, whether or not you participate or not, is in the swaps that we can bring in two different types of swaps. We can take in cards and we can take in 3Ds. And when I say 3Ds, I'm talking about things like this. This was what I wrote about today on the blog that Chris had done for the mothers in our church. She had made all of these for everyone. And so that's a 3D swap. And they could be any little thing. They could be pieces of candy. You could have, oh gosh, I don't know what else. Nail files, that's apt to show up. There has been things like Kleenex box holders, and there have been things like lotion holders. And the year of COVID, everybody took hand sanitizers. I mean, we a bunch of us came home with packages of like, oh my gosh, look at this new hand sanitizer. Then we had things like needle and threads and Band-Aid holders and stuff like that. It's not what's inside the package. It's how they put it together. So that we come home and we take it and we start tearing it apart. For like example, this is Chris's. And if I were to tear it apart, I can pretty well tell you that she has a tube of paper about this long and probably about this wide. And she has clipped it and scored it in such a way that she can fold it up to create this box on the side. Okay? Another swap that we can participate in is the card swaps. And the card swap is another one that is a great one to participate in because you come home, you take 26 items of the same. So these are my card swaps, and they were wrapped in here or stacked in here a little better. And then Calvin got into them yesterday and he was playing with them. So they were stacked in here better. You put them in cellophane. This one is a gift card holder, and I will post it later on this week for you, using all current products. And sometimes that's the hard thing, is trying to find a current product that we can use. We put them in cellophane bags. You can put your name inside it, and you go with 26 of them that are the same, and then they will take them this week and they will sort through them and they will mix them up, and you can go back and you pick up your bag and it will have 25 different cards in it. You're apt to get your own back. That just happens. You never know. But I pack these in my paper pumpkin boxes. I think that's the best way to take them. I put them in my suitcase this way. And those paper pumpkin boxes keeps them nice and very wrinkle-free and all contained in one spot. So that's how the cards are going. So I was sitting down, and when we go to do 3Ds, it's kind of, you're looking at the products. You're looking through there. Now, I want you to think back, for those of you that can remember the catalogs, and I can open the catalog now because the catalog has gone live. You remember when we had the cherry punch? When we had the little cherry punch, everybody was finding all these cherry candies, and we were getting packages of cherry candies and how these cute little pieces. Last 2 years ago, no, last year it was the coffee. And the coffee was one that I put on cards, and I found coffee candies, and I used all the coffee paper, and then I fit it right into that clear envelope, and it was awesome. So sometimes the catalog lends itself with ideas of things that you might want to hunt for. When there was the monkey punch, I remember that year I used Laffy Taffy, banana Laffy Taffy. So I was looking through the catalog tonight, or this week, not tonight, but this week, and I'm trying to figure out what to create for 3D. And I don't have all of my things. Like, you know, we have what we had ordered from pre-order, but maybe I didn't have a lot of things. And I thought, oh, that would work. Oh, I don't have that. That's not going to get here in time. So I went to the paper. So I went back to the paper section, and I started looking at what kinds of paper I have and to see if anything there would lend itself for an idea, okay? This one, too Christmassy. I'm not in the Christmas spirit right now. I did not have this paper yet. It wasn't in the pre-order, so I didn't have mine. I had this one. But I was already using this for the swap, the card swap, the Florals in Bloom. This is an old paper. I didn't want to use that. I'm not into the turtles. I'm sorry. There's some cute papers there, but no. Lavender. I'm really tired of the lavender. I use this one, Country Woods, for the birdhouse, and I'm like, nah, I'm tired of working with Country Woods. And the Thoughtful Journey, well, that's been around. And I went down to this one, and I'm like, I like it, but when it's 6 by 6 and you're cutting it down, you're not getting a lot out of like some of these papers. They don't lend themselves to multiple cards. Like if you cut it down 3 by 3 on one of these 3 by 3, you can do something with. Here, you either get this, or you get the pot, or you get nothing, and I didn't like that. So I did not have this one, and I had the Bokeh, but it was a return. So then I turned around and I went to the online exclusive papers. And specifically, I went with the online exclusive paper that is the Celebratory Sips. The Celebratory Sips, the one that's got all the drinks in it. And I wish I had my package with me, but I don't. But I looked at it, and this is the page that really took my eye. I looked at this one, and I saw the fruit, and I'm thinking, I could do things with the fruit. There's limes, there's lemons, there's strawberries, there's blackberries or raspberries, either way. I could do something with this. So that's what I ended up doing. I ended up looking at it, thinking, what can I do with the fruit? And I went with tea this time. I normally don't do tea bag things, but I had an idea in my head of something that I thought that might work for something different. And so then I was looking at my dies, and specifically the dies I was looking at are these. These are the Everyday Arches. I love the Everyday Arches. In fact, with my classes, I need 2 sets. Pool Boy is thrilled that I have more than 1 set. And I'm looking at the Cheers and Sips thinking, how can I do this to do a tea bag holder? So I started looking at the shapes and the different sizes. I didn't want to get into a swap that was monstrous. Okay. This one was going to be too big. I'm looking at that thinking, my gosh, that's a lot of cardstock. A lot of cardstock to do that. So I went with the next one down. Yep, I can't get it to pull up. There. I went with it on the next one down. And I thought I could run a couple of these, and I could sandwich them together to make a pocket to put your tea bag in. But then I was also looking at it thinking, how am I going to keep the tea bag from sliding out the sides? Because I really didn't want that. So I had to give quite a bit of thought to it. The other thing I went with was the size factor, because I was looking at tea bags, and if I had a tea bag that had a wrapper on it, it was going to stick out. Okay, so I want you to look at this. It's too big. The tea bag is too big. Can you see it? And yes, I could do it this way, but then the corners are going to be out. So I had to decide, I had to find a tea that was going to work. So what I ended up with was a blackberry tea that has no wrapper in it. And I'm going to tell you, nobody's going to care that there's no wrapper on it, because in swaps like this is not what we're interested in. We're interested in how do you make it and reconstruct it. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna take 2 of these and I'm gonna score them. Because I want a bottom down at this. I want them in a bottom so I can turn around and glue together. So I'm going to take this one, and if you're wanting to know the size of this one, it is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's number 6, going from smallest to largest. Okay. I'm going to score it at 1/4 inch on the bottom. You can see that? I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. 1/4 inch at the bottom. All right, I'm going to take a piece of tearing tape. Like so, and I'm just going to come across that little section that's scored. Just like that. Okay, and then we're going to fold it on the score line. And we're going to fold this one on the score line. Okay. I'm going to take the paper off, and some of that tape is a little bit wider than the other piece where that score line is. It goes over the score line just a hair, but that's okay because I'm going to, how am I going to do this? Do this and line it up here and fold it. Give it a hard press, and now I have a pocket like so. Are you with me? And there is a tiny bit of adhesive right here that I can also make sure that my tea bag stays in just a hair. So I took my 2 tea bags. They have no wrapper, so therefore I can fold that, and I could put that here, and I have a tea bag holder, like so. Okay, so we got the start of it. Now, I'm gonna take this one, and I really don't like that look. This is the actual, the next size down, this would be number 5. So this was 6, this is number 5, from the smallest to the largest. And I don't like this not really being the same edging all the way across. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the bottom. Where the perforated edge is, I'm just going to cut it off right there. You can cut it with your scissors, you can cut it with paper cutter, you can even, I think when Jim ran them, I think he even ran them so that he didn't even have that on there. He just overlapped the die so it was off just a hair.
That's what I did.
That's what I thought you did. So I'm going to go on ahead and put this on here with my adhesive. And I'm going to run it all the way to the bottom because I really don't care if the bottom has any kind of an edging, okay? All right, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a hole punch. And I am going to line this up, make sure it's nice and lined up, the edges completely match. And I'm going to punch once. And then I'm going to punch a second time. These are old punches that Stampin' Up! Had several years ago, and I still like them. You could use a one of the punches. There's a trio of punches, and they would work but you can't see very well, and I didn't want it tying this way. I wanted it to tie on top. So I'm going to use baker's twine and go under here. And actually, I want to put this in first. All right. My tea bag is in. I'm going to put my baker's twine down. And then I'm going to run it back up like so. And I am going to, and then I'm going to run it back up. Oh, goodness. Turn that volume down. I don't like to listen to myself. Hey, Bobby. Hi, Rowena. Took me 15 minutes to find me. Oh, gosh. Okay. I was a popular, I guess. Everybody, no, actually, I wasn't popular. If I was popular, you'd have found me in your newsfeed probably faster. I'm going to knot it. And I'm going to do this. And I've got my tie. I've got my pieces together. Like so. Okay, so there's the start of my tea bag holder. It's got double tea bags. It's holding inside there, and it was using the arches. Probably, I've not seen anyone use the arches. Not to say somebody hasn't, but to me that was the ideal thing to make a little treat box. Okay, all right. So we're gonna take a punch, and we try to use current products. I don't know if this is the most current punch or not. There's a punch label, and there are two of them that look alike, and I never remember which one is the most current one. But it won't matter because it works the same way whether you use this one or you don't. So I'm going to go to my stamp sets. And so I was trying to come up with an idea of what do I put on this to make it look right. Okay, I wanted something that was a good little greeting on it that wasn't too small. So what I ended up with is this one from the Sweet Jar. I love this stamp set. If you have not seen this one yet, this is a neat one because I love the holidays in here with the shamrock. We have so little shamrock stuff. So I'm going to go in here and get the one that says, sending you a little blank your way. And I'm going to offset it over here. And I'm keeping with my Blackberry here. I'm going with my Blackberry ink. Sending a little something your way, and I'm going to offset it to the right, like that. And then in your stamps, there are words that will fit. Sending a little sweetness your way, sending a little luck your way. The one that I went with is love. Sending a little love your way. So I'm just going to put this here, and it fits right in the middle of this. Sending a little love your way. We're done with the Blackberry. I would too. I wish there wasn't a cookie thing. That would be great. I got Blackberry ink on me, so if I don't get it off me, it'll be everywhere. Yeah, the individual cookie would be really cute with it. Okay, then we have a Blackberry that came from the Cheers and Sips. Remember, I kind of went with that celebratory Sips paper. So in here, I have this little Blackberry that kind of started this whole thing. And I'm going to stamp it with Memento off to the side, like so. And I took my blends, and I'm just going to color in real fast. I got Old Olive blends, just to give a little top to it. And I have the Blackberry Bliss. You could also say this is raspberry, whatever you want it to be. That was easily done. And then I'm gonna take the dark and I'm just gonna kind of go over some of these little black lines. I'm not gonna try and hit every one of them. I'm just kind of giving it some depth there, okay? So there's my label for my little treat bag, but that's not gonna look like much there. So I'm gonna turn around, and I punched another one of these same punches out of Blackberry Bliss, and I cut it apart. How many of you have done this before? Over and over and over. And I'm gonna line it up, half of it on this side sticking out, and then I wanna make sure that there's nothing sticking out above or below, so that it perfectly is in alignment. Same thing here. Okay. And somewhere I have some dimensionals. There is nothing to me more satisfying than using this whole thing. I love to get to this last piece and just clip, 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 and throw it out and start a new one. And I rarely get to start the new ones, because more times than not on the table, when I have a class, people start the new ones and I take home the leftovers. That's what I use. So I'm going to take this and put it on my candy, like so. Not candy, my tea thing. And then I took a few minutes and I stamped and colored and die punched a whole bunch of those little berries. And I am going to put that on here and offset it. Don't really want the stems to be the same, so I'm going to angle it a little differently. And then I am going to go to my gems, and again, I am not going to worry about that. I'm not worrying about if it's brand new or not. I'm worrying about getting coloring. So these are ones that I have that are blackberry and gold. Okay? Nobody's going to care if the gem is current, because what everyone is looking at is this. It's the container part itself. I guarantee when somebody gets it, they'll throw the tea bag away, they'll open it up, and then they'll start looking at how it was just deconstructed. That's exactly what we do. Yes, you've done it with a punch. Yep, lots of times it works, okay? Now, but to package it, I need it to be packaged so that it looks and stays looking nice. And I don't want it to come apart. I don't want it crinkled or anything like that. So I'm going back to my clear bags again. And I have to kind of think this through a little bit. I think if I put it this way, in here like so. I love the cellophane bags. I don't know how many of you use cellophane bags, but I love it. Good, thank you, Anne. I needed to hear that. I thought it was clever. I was real tickled with it. I'm gonna put my card in the back so that people know who I am. And then I'm gonna fold it this way and then over and seal it on the back. Okay, so there is my swap. And I don't get my swaps done until right at the end, because if I don't get them made, I don't get them made. But isn't that a cute one? Easy. And I used everything is current in terms of the paper, the arches, The stamps here, these are current. The punch, I may not have the right punch, but there's one that looks just like it. It's a little bit different on the curve on the end. And after I made all these, I think this is the old one, but I'm sorry, I had already colored in 26 of these berries. I was not going to go back and re-punch that sucker and do it again. So everything is current, and I will pack them up just like so in my paper pumpkin bags, and my box, I will put it in with all the ribbons. I have so far, all of these are made. All of these are ready. Everything is now down to me simply doing the labels, and I am ready to go. So that is what's going to happen as soon as we are done here, unless one of you can get to my house real fast. I know you would come, Rowena. You probably could be here in about 15 minutes, but I'll have it done relatively quickly, and that's it. It's done. I hope it's a hit. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I think everybody is always searching for trying to find something that is a little different. And it's so nice to see where you can take your dies and do something different. This was off a little bit. So, turning the dies into a little treat holder, really easy to do, okay? And if they use my tea, I don't really think they will, but I don't care, and I will make sure in my suitcase it's labeled correctly so everybody will know when it goes through. They won't go, what's that powder substance in there? It'll be fine. So anyhow, guys, thanks for being with me. I will be back next Monday, hopefully. Pam and I will try to share with you all of the 3Ds. We will get together with you one night on our group page, and we'll do the 3Ds, and we'll do the cards. For those of you that are doing bingo, we have bingo in person on the 20th. Those of you that have been able to do in-person bingo but like to do the online bingo, we are doing an online bingo. This is what we are talking about tomorrow when we are at the airport. It is on my radar because several of you gave us ideas. So Pam and I will go through and figure out what one. I'm anticipating the first week of June. Oh, no. The second week of June, probably, because lucky me, I'm going fishing. With Pool Boy on Lake Erie to go walleye fishing. So Lynn will be up in your neck of the woods area. So anyhow, thank you for being with me, and follow us on Facebook because I will be posting pictures there, and I know you are in for online bingo. Most all of you that do online bingo, if you're free that night, you join us because we do have a good time. So anyhow, thank you. Say prayers for us, and we are off to the happiest place in the world, on the earth. All right, take care. God bless.